Hello.
Hello, good
Good evening,
evening.
good evening, madam. It's nice to see you. Uh, can we start with introducing ourselves?
Yes, yes,
What I need is your name. What are you doing, and why are you in this class?
yes, sure, sir. So my name is Saraswati,
Yeah.
and I hail from Uttar Pradesh, but currently I reside in Mumbai. And as for my education, so I have completed Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Education.
Uh-huh.
After which I also completed web designing and worked for 15 years on one particular software which is Photoshop. But currently I am a homemaker. During pandemic I quit my job. Yeah, that is little bit about myself.
Do you intend working again?
No,
Okay. So I could take it as you are a homemaker right now
yes,
with
yes,
a background in computers. Am I right?
yes, yes,
Computer related.
yes.
Not my strong point, but yeah, I understand. My name is Rohil Menon. I belong to Kerala, but I haven't spent much time in my home state. I spent most of my time in Bangalore, and I was outside India for about close to 22 years. I came back to India in 2017, and almost 5 years I've been in teaching English, communication coach. I've been doing IELTS. For those who want to go abroad, they have to pass an exam called IELTS or TOEFL, and interview skilling and so on. Mainly into communication, and
Yes.
communication largely in English, of course. I don't do a training in Malayalam or Hindi for that matter. I speak Hindi all right. I mean,
Oh,
like everybody likes to speak Hindi
yes.
in India, and yeah, essentially here there was just to kickstart the session. There was some notes about digital communication. Maybe you can throw some light on it. Uh, oh, is it what that was? Let me see.
Just
Yeah,
before connecting, I'll go through the topic. Yes,
yeah. So they talked about texting and emailing and social media and way we
yeah,
talk to each other. So they have talked about some apps which it's quite common. It need not be an expert on this. And they have talked about. Okay, I want to ask you one thing. Do you use email? Of course you use. I'm sure.
yes.
Yes.
Very rarely, like as I'm a small YouTuber too, so that's the reason. And sometimes I have to mail someone, so I use only. Yeah,
Yeah. Instant messaging.
yeah,
I
yes,
would. Yes, of course. I think instant messaging has taken over email.
yeah.
Because everybody wants immediate reaction. What is your opinion on social media?
Social media.
Yeah.
Yes, social media I think is a good platform, and because of that platform, we are learning number of things, and for communication, so it's very helpful for instant messaging, and we connect easily to our friends, relatives, and for this language. So yes, it is very helpful because of this. These types of applications now is available. So by using those applications, we can improve as we are connecting. So this is also a like magic of this digital. Yeah,
Digital world. Yeah. No, we
yeah,
cannot, whether we like it or not, we cannot do without it.
yes,
Many times we find that we spend too much of time
yes,
on social media, and if anybody spends, I was reading somewhere that if anybody spends more than 4 hours, you're a addict, social
yes,
media addict. But today, I think 4 hours everybody does.
yes.
Is when you go above that, maybe it's a problem.
Mm.
They've also mentioned. Do you listen to any podcasts? Do you have a habit of listening to podcasts?
I do not listen podcast, but yes,
Hmm.
for improving my English, sometimes I listen like some conversational videos, or I follow one or two YouTubers, so I listen them to improve my English only. Yes.
Mhm. Do you think that is it's useful?
Yes, for me, I guess it's really very helpful because then I listen to some like podcast related to English, so I can improve my vocabulary part. Along with that, I can also improve my pronunciation and how to means answer to anyone. I can learn.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, one of the things I've noticed when you're speaking is you have a very strong mother tongue influence. Okay, you know what a mother tongue influence is. Mother
Yes,
tongue
yes, I
influence
know
is
that. Yes.
your mother tongue language. Now, everybody, depending on which part of India you come from, the South, Bengali, Marathi, your Hindi, I mean UP, or Malayalam,
Hmm.
or Tamil, all of them, not all, most of them have a very strong mother tongue influence, partly because they study in the uh, vernacular language.
Yes,
Vernacular, you
yes,
speak,
yes,
learning in teaching in Hindi, or studying in Hindi or Marathi or Malayalam or Tamil. Or, so from the upbringing, there is a tendency to uh, follow that influence of that language
yes,
you studied in. Okay, am I right? This is
yes, yes,
why
sure.
why it is right. Uh,
Before going ahead, as you
yeah,
the starting of our conversation, you asked me one question like why you are here. So I didn't answer that question. So here I am because I'm very passionate for this language.
yeah.
Not now, from my since childhood I am very passionate. As during pandemic, I quit my job. I am at home, so I thought that this is good time to work on my communication skill, and I started my journey last year, like only 1 year. The whatever you are seeing the progress, so is this all the 1 year progress is that?
And which language did you study in Hindi?
Yes, I
In Hindi.
studied in Hindi medium, but
Yeah.
my subject was English.
Ah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes,
Because the difference, because personally, I am a Malayali, but I
mhm,
never spent time in my state
yes,
because my father was in the army, so we used to travel all over. Studied in boarding school actually in Bangalore. So maybe I was not exposed to the Malayalam medium of instruction. Okay,
mm-hmm,
I was always exposed to English medium instruction,
mm-hmm,
and my in addition to that, my father was a MA in English, even though he was in the army. So
mm-hmm,
the language of instruction or medium of instruction at home was English.
mm-hmm.
We never spoke Malayalam even. My mother
Okay,
spoke, my father hardly spoke. So when we were growing up, we learned to speak more in English and Hindi. Hindi as in conversation, because in school
yes,
most of them were Hindi speaking. Okay, so I'll take you to some exercise where I normally like to understand your pronunciation.
okay,
And okay, the exercise is not only pronunciation, but the word meaning you need to tell me,
yes,
and you form a sentence with that word. So
yeah,
the word I will give you, you tell
mm-hmm,
me the meaning. That means you will pronounce the word, you will tell
mm-hmm,
me the meaning, and you will form a sentence. All three.
okay,
Okay. Words, I'll try to pick, it'll get gradually more difficult.
mm-hmm,
The range of difficulty will increase as I go on. So
yes,
the first word is suit. Suit. You can write it down.
SUIT.
Suit.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Use it in a sentence.
Mm.
What is the meaning? That's it.
Like this thing is suit to me.
That is suited to you. That is one. There's a
Yes.
second meaning for that.
Second meaning.
Is also there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you're right. The first meaning, you're right. This is suited for me,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yes.
this subject is suited for me, but
Mm-hmm.
this climate is suited for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. There's another word,
Mm-hmm.
which is also,
Another word like suit means like some clothes.
yes, a man wears a suit. Okay.
Mm, yes.
Uh, a man wears a suit, or my son is wearing a suit. That is
Yes.
the meaning of the word suit. It's a very simple word. The
Yes.
second word I want to use is MONK.
MONK.
N. K.
MONK.
Yes. What does it mean?
Means one a man who is religious.
Yeah, more right. Yeah, it's more or less close to it. Uh, every
Religious
religious
man.
person, every religious person is not a monk.
No, no.
Okay, so the
One who
monk has,
preach.
yeah, a deeper
Yes,
meaning. Yeah, that's right.
yes, yes.
Religious
Oh,
and somebody who can preach, somebody who's
preach.
spiritual.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes.
give me a sentence with that.
Uh, the monk spends his day preaching and doing meditation and yoga,
That's it. Fine. The monk spent his day,
preaching others.
yeah, preaching, uh, preaching
And
others and meditating.
yes,
Fair enough.
and
Fair enough.
yes.
That's enough. The third word is scandal. Scandal.
S and S C
Scandal.
D A L. Scandal.
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 Scandal. What does it mean? Give me a sentence.
Like what we say. It's like a corruption.
Could be. Yes. One of the ways it can be a scandal. Corruption scandal is correct. You know the meaning of scandal, of course.
Yes,
It is it's not a positive development, but it's a
yes,
scandal or it's a shocking, uh,
yes,
happening, right? So
yes.
use a word with that.
In the there are many. Just wait. Uh, there are number of scandals in politics.
Yes.
Yes,
You could say there are a number of scandals in politics and the film industry, for example.
yes,
Okay. The different types of scandals. It could be financial,
yes,
it could be something else, relationship, or etc., whatever.
yes.
Correct. One more word I'll give you is DE, D for Delhi, E for
D
England,
E
D, DERAN,
R
RAN,
A N
GED.
D E R A N G D.
Right. How do
Deranged.
you how do you pronounce it?
Deranged.
Deranged.
Deranged. Okay.
Deranged. Now it's two syllables as we call it in English. No, when you pronounce the
Uh,
word, it is not
Deranged.
deranged. It's
Okay.
deranged.
Deranged.
There are two
Okay.
parts. Huh? So whenever there's a word, when you break it up into syllables, it's easier to pronounce it. When you break it up into two
Deranged.
parts.
Okay. Yes.
Deranged. Deranged. Do you know the meaning of it?
I know.
Yeah. Write it down.
Yes.
If you Google, you will get the meaning, of course.
Yes. Just
And
wait.
no, you can write it and keep
Okay.
it.
Later
Maybe
I
next
will.
round, next round
Yes.
we
Yeah.
see
Sure.
whether we
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
get to
Yes.
some.
Yes. Yes. Sure.
You can tell me I've got three words ready, three sentences. This is it. DI,
T I
not T, D again, Delhi.
T E D I.
DI,
Huh?
C for Canada, CATE, C for Canada,
Dedicate. Dedicate.
dedicate. What does it
Yes.
mean?
Dedicate means what we say Hindi.
Tell me.
Some I know the Hindi word.
Tell me the Hindi word. I'll
So
tell you whether you're right or not.
समर्पित करना. Dedicate means
Yeah, exactly.
yes,
Samar Karna.
yes,
So, what does it mean in English? You can say a word which, according to you, could
yes.
be the right sentence, right?
Like I am very dedicated for this language.
Yeah, in that case, you can say, I am very dedicated to the Hindi language.
Yes,
Like I might say, I am very dedicated to the English language.
yes,
Okay. You can say, I'm dedicated, it's the same.
yes,
It's only a
yes.
question of usage,
Yeah.
it's just continuous tense or like present tense, continuous tense, whatever. So you're saying I am dedicated to the Hindi language.
Yes.
Or somebody might say, I dedicate my achievement to the country. You know,
Yes.
uh, Or you can say I worked under a very dedicated teacher,
Yes.
a person who's very involved.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That is right. A little more difficult word as it goes on is CONT,
UNT.
CONT, ENT,
ENT.
IOUS. Let me repeat the spelling: CONT,
CUNT.
ENT,
ENT.
IOUS.
Contentious. Okay. Contentious means
No,
what is
the pronunciation is contentious because it ends
contentious.
in IOUS. Curious.
Uh-huh.
Okay, contentious.
Mm-hmm.
So contentious, there's a meaning for it. Okay,
Yes.
what according to you is the meaning?
Contentious means that is what we say. That is something that is not like argument type of thing.
Yes, yeah, you're
Vivadas for the
very
Hindi
close
word
to
is
it. It is controversial.
controversial. Yes.
Argumentative is a light way of describing it, but it is correct. When
Contentious.
I and you don't agree on a discussion, you are saying something, I am saying something. It is
Yes.
contentious.
Contentious.
That means it's open to discussion, meaning
Yes.
you are not right, I am not right,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yes.
you're partly right, I am partly right, but it is a
Mhm.
contentious discussion or a
Yes.
contentious argument
Yes.
which needs to be cleared, right? I mean, when
Yes.
you're discussing. So, give me a sentence with contentious.
She has been very contentious at the time of discussion.
Yes, we have been very contentious at the time of our discussion.
Yes.
Okay, or you can say a particular topic, or selecting the team was a contentious debate.
Yes.
When you're
Yes.
selecting a team for a country, the Indian cricket team selection was contentious. People
Yeah.
had different opinion. Oh, he should have gone, I should have gone, whatever, as the case may be. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
contentious word.
Contentious.
Another
Contentious.
word, D for Delhi again.
DE.
No, DI
DR.
SS
SS.
E for England. CT. That means DISSECT. How do you pronounce?
DISSECT.
How do you pronounce it?
Dissect. Dissect.
Dissect. Correct. Now, okay. In There is two types of pronunciation. That is because we know dissect because we follow English form of pronunciation. If it's American, they will say dissect.
Mm-hmm.
It just emphasis on a different syllable. Dissect. It sounds like it is DE. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it is DI, but we say dissect. They
Dissect.
will say dissect.
Okay.
So, what does it mean?
Mm. No.
Have you heard dissect? I
I
mean,
heard this news, but
yeah.
word, but I didn't know the meaning.
Have you been in a biology class
No.
or a zoology class? No.
No.
Okay, normally when you're in a zoology class or a biology class, you dissect a frog. When you're doing practicals, you
Mm-hmm.
dissect a frog. When you're doing practicals in biology class, you dissect a plant
Okay.
or bush or
Cut.
whatever. You cut it, take it apart, so that you can see inside. And in a frog, we used to do that. So there is a word called dissect. Uh, you can also use dissect in the context of a conversation. You and me are having a conversation, but later we sat down and dissected the discussion, which means we broke it up
Broke it up.
into
Okay.
different segments. So you may have a discussion, with your friend or your husband. There's a discussion. After the discussion is over, you're saying, no, no, that's okay, but I'm not satisfied. Let us dissect what we discussed. Maybe it's a financial decision. Suppose
Mm-hmm.
you're going to buy a house.
Okay.
So you've discussed, you've said a lot of pros and cons and all that. The end of it, you're dissecting what you discussed. So you're
Oh.
able to come to a conclusion. final conclusion or a final decision. That is how dissect the word comes in. We managed to dissect our discussion and came to a final step or a final conclusion. Okay,
Okay.
that is the another word is IN
IN,
T for table,
INT,
TER
ER,
SECT.
SE,
C for Canada, T for table.
INTRSECT.
Ah,
Intersect to cross.
intersect.
Intersect means what is
Intersect. What does it mean?
means when in, like something crossing.
Yeah. Like you say, for example, that is applied to a road or a traffic
Mm,
point. What do
yes.
you call that point? Where two or three roads
Intersecting
meet.
point.
Intersection.
Intersect.
Uh, there is normally a traffic light
Mm.
there, which will take care of the flow of traffic, and you'll say intersect or the roads intersect, or there is an intersection. So use that word in your own words.
So I can say that the two road intersects at the traffic light.
Yeah, at the traffic light. Perfect. The two roads intersect at the traffic light. That means one goes this way and one goes that way.
Yes.
That is the meaning of that. I quickly give you a feedback because the time is also limited to that. The
Yes.
idea here is to make you say words, new words, write sentences, understand the meaning of those words as you expand your vocabulary and pronunciation, both. Okay.
Yes.
We'll have other exercises like idioms and similes and you know past tense and passive voice, active voice, all that. Uh, your more main focus, I would focus on is pronunciation because words which carry the MTI influence
Mhm.
more. If you
Okay.
try to change the way you want to pronounce, it will take time. It will not take. It's not something which is going to happen overnight because it's a habit, right? So that is
Yes.
one thing. And two, generally improve the formation of sentences, words, vocabulary, and so on.
Yes.
Ultimately, when you finish at least 5 classes, you should be able to look back and say you are improving in terms of sentence formation, vocabulary, and pronunciation.
Okay.
And all these three are important for English language.
Yes.
The three most important is grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Well,
Yes.
that is what people listen. This is what people hear.
Yes.
Using good words, saying it in the right way, and using it in the right sentence.
Yes.
Uh, do you read? You read English simple books, or you read anything?
Yes. Now, like last 3 months, I'm very consistent with reading. Earlier, I was not reading. I only read my daughter's book when I teach her. But nowadays, the last 3 months, I'm very consistent with reading, and at least 1 hour every day I read aloud.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's not the length of reading, it's important, it is the consistency. Okay,
Yes.
even if you read half an hour a day, in
Mm-hmm.
10 days, it is 3 hours. In
Yes.
30 days, it is 9 hours. Instead of trying to read 2 hours in one day and then not read at all
Mm-hmm. Yes.
for 15 days, the practice goes out. So read regularly, speak if you can to your daughter. How old is she?
She's 12 years old now.
Yeah, try to speak to her more regularly.
Yeah.
She'll also get time to speak. You'll also get time to speak. These two
Yes.
things, if you do regularly, your uh, English vocabulary and range will increase.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Sure.
the only way to improve. Read newspaper, read magazines, read simple books.
Yes.
That is what I would suggest. Because
Yes.
in language, self-study is also important.
Yes.
Just attending a class itself will not.
Yeah.
If that was the case, all of us in English class only would have been mastery in English.
Yes.
But we spend more time reading other activities, reading, listening, speaking, which is
Yes.
one way of probably the only way to improve any language for that matter, not
Yes.
only English, right? So
Yeah.
we'll meet again.
Yeah. Sure. Sure, sir.
If you're happy with the class, give me a review. That'll help.
Uh,
And I'll continue to be available in those times,
yeah. Yeah. Sure,
morning
sir.
or
I
evening as
really
best.
enjoyed the classes and the new words today. I came across with many new words, and I try to use at the time of speaking.
Can I ask you one question? Why is it
Yeah.
humming space? What is it?
Yes, Humming Space is my YouTube channel name.
Ah, I must check it out.